right, everyone. Who's hot? I'm just kidding. Hi, everyone. My name is Laguna. I'm a sophomore mechanical engineering major here at UH. I'm currently your academic chair, and I'm hopefully your next vice president internal. My first year here, I'm not gonna lie, living on campus got a little lonely. Especially in a commuter school, it was hard to find people with similar goals. That was until I found SHPE. After just one general meeting, I knew I found my people and a mission and vision that I could support. Eager to get involved, I joined 3 committees, served on the mini e-board, and later became their academic chair. In this role, I hosted numerous events, including our staple Study Red Mondays, academic and technical workshops, and even a research lab tour with a civil engineering professor. This experience has prepared me to be your next VPI. SHPE has empowered me, and I think it's my turn to return the favor. College is too expensive to just go to class and get your degree, especially with all the things that you can do on campus. And as VPI, I want to make sure that we're taking advantage of those opportunities. I will lead with 3 key values: quality, recognition, and most importantly, familia. As VPI, I would be in charge of booking the rooms and resources needed for our events. As a chair, I know exactly how nerve-wracking it can be to plan an event, much less run it. However, through that experience, both as a committee member and as a chair, I learned that by being proactive, like having checklists, and making sure that our e-board is supporting our chairs, together we can make well-structured events with professional quality. Being the largest engineering organization on campus, I believe our members are why we're so great. There is so much that we do each year that it would be a shame if we were to not get recognized for it. Which is why I will strive to make sure that we're being awarded locally, regionally, and nationally. I will ensure this by applying for awards on campus and meeting with the leadership team regularly when filling out the end of year reports. Ultimately, I want us to win the Gold Chapter of the Year and Blue Chip Awards. Why? Because we deserve it. Lastly, we just hit 500 members, and I want to make sure that all 500 of you feel as though you're part of the familia. As a member, the conversations that got me more involved were with the leadership team, which is why I will advocate for more member engagement from leadership. I also want to implement more member spotlights so that you all can share your stories and so that we can support our achievements together. As SHPE-UH continues to grow, we're sure to take our organization to the next level with an emphasis on helping each other out through organization, recognition, and support. I'll leave you with this. I was able to make a difference as a member, and I hope that I was able to inspire some of you as a chair. And now I'm asking you to allow me to make a difference as your next VPI. Thank you.
Great speech, Sean.
Thank you.
Being VPI, you'll have to not only maintain, but also strengthen SHPE's connections with other student organizations such as SWE, NSBE, ASME, and so on. What is your plan to maintain these connections so that SHPE still has that exposure on campus?
Absolutely. One thing that I really noticed this year was that we really want to collaborate with a lot of organizations, but we didn't really know who to talk to or how to get in contact with them. One thing that I really want to implement, it's awesome that we're being able to elect our e-board early this year because now we can lay the foundations pretty early, even before we break for summer. But as the next e-boards for other organizations are being elected, I want to be proactive. I want to go and talk to them. I want to set up meetings. I want to get those contacts, and not only that, put them on a list so that our chairs and our e-board can easily access them.
Sean, thank you for sharing your speech. My question for you is, can you describe a time when you had to step into a leadership role unexpectedly, and how did you handle it?
Ooh, that's a really good question. For me, I want to say convention. A lot of us took different flights to convention, and it was definitely a new experience. I flew on a plane with a lot of members, and a lot of members did get a similar flights. So we got to the airport for a convention in LAX relatively around the same time. And the next question was, well, how do we get from LA to Anaheim? And I really don't travel a lot. I mean, I've been to like 2 other states and that's it. Never outside of the country, hopefully next year. But one thing I did notice was that not a lot of people understood, what was the best form of transportation to the hotel. And so I decided, okay, let's look at our options, right? Uber was way too expensive, way too expensive. The bus was all right, I mean, but you know, if you want to take a 6-hour train ride, that's your choice. But I looked at Lyft, and we noticed that that was the best option, and so I decided, okay, let's group up, you know, max will take is 5 people, you 5 go take a Lyft, you 5 go take a Lyft, and that way, we only really spent like, what, $30? $30 to get to the hotel, and you know, we got there safely, and I was really happy about that.
Hi, Sean. I was also EPI in my years. But my question to you is, how would you handle when UH Center of Student Involvement does not agree with an event or current activities?
Could you repeat the question again?
Yeah. How would you handle when UH Center of Student Involvement does not agree with an event or current activities?
I'd like to ask them why. I mean, that's the first question. Is you know, obviously communication is very important. I like to see it as a dissatisfied customer. The only way I think that way is because I've had 6 jobs since I was 16. That's not a flex, by the way. And at least 4 of them have been in customer service. So when I tell you, I've dealt with angry people before. I've dealt with angry people before. But especially in that situation, I'd like to hear them out, right? Most people, whenever they're dissatisfied or disappointed, it's because they don't feel heard. So I want to make sure that CSI is you know, being heard. We can set up a meeting, understand where exactly they come from, and we can make modifications to our events going further. I want to share the lessons that we learned from that meeting with our chairs and the rest of the board, so that we know a plan of action for what to come after that meeting.
Hey Sean, as the VPI, you are basically considered to be the right-hand person of the president. So how would you go about handling internal conflicts or assisting the president with internal conflicts of the e-board?
So another thing that like I said in the last question, when someone is disappointed or maybe angry, it's because they don't feel heard. And again, it's awesome that we're electing our e-board pretty early this year, because we can have a stronger team bond, right? We can start building that bond early on. But again, I want to make sure that all of our leadership team is feeling heard. So whenever we have internal conflict, we also want to keep it internal. I think we want to show our members our best selves, and it's unprofessional if we're showing them to our members. So we want to keep it as contained as possible and see if we can settle it, you know, within ourselves. I think mediating the conflict would be one of the best options to do. What I mean by that is sit both parties down. I sit in the middle. We dish it out, right? I want to hear both sides out of it. And not only that, I want to make sure that we're communicating our feelings, all of them. I don't want anyone to hide anything, because when we come up with solutions, I want that to be it. And so I want our leadership to understand, and not only that, I also want to remind them of why they're doing this. We're doing this for our chapter, and sometimes that helps, you know, the conflict, you know, solve itself. But I think I really want to pursue that way, and want to make sure that everyone is happy with the solution.
Thank you.
Thank you.